Struggle 2020 here, and today we're going to be talking about the Azhdaha and Dvalin fight. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Anyways, let's get right into the video. Alright, so here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to put everything that I said about Dvalin and Azhdaha at the beginning of the video like I usually do. Instead, I'm going to direct you towards my Power of Characters and Genshin Impact videos, both 1 and 2, but mostly 1. That's where I specifically mentioned the numbers for Azhdaha and Dvalin. Alright, so I'm going to briefly go over the Dvalin fight and then the Azhdaha fight. First off, for some context behind the fight, that zit on the top of his head, that is Durin's blood. It's corrupting him, it's slowly killing him, it's weakening him, it's making him go mad. And the whole point of the Dvalin fight, it wasn't to necessarily seal away or defeat Dvalin, it was to simply remove the zit that's on the back of his head. And that's pretty much how Venti was treating the situation. He wasn't trying to outright defeat him. As we see in the very beginning of the story, we see Venti, he's trying to talk to Dvalin, he's trying to calm him down so he can remove the zit, and then the Traveler scares him away. And then later on with the Liar, he tries to soothe Dvalin, and then the instigating Abyss Mage comes in and convinces him that Venti is trying to hurt him, and he flies off to his lair. So after that, after everything failed, they were going to physically wrestle with Dvalin and try to remove the zit. Venti chooses to bring 3 extra people besides himself to fight Dvalin, making 4 in total. Remember this. It is implied that Diluc, the Traveler, and Jean, along with Venti, are all capable of temporarily knocking out Dvalin and removing the zit on the top of his head. Afterwards, the winds stop, the platforms fall, and Venti passes out and Dvalin has to come in and catch him. Afterwards, Venti gives him authority over Anemo. Keep in mind that at the time of the fight, Venti had both the Gnosis and authority over Anemo. So he had 2 high multipliers for this fight. Everyone leaves, they leave the Knights of Favonia's headquarters, and then proceed to get jumped by the Fatui. The Traveler is so weak that he or she can't struggle against 2 Fatui agents. Venti, we see how much strength he has left. He was able to temporarily hold back Senora before Senora rushed him in and stole the Gnosis, and then proceeds to do him dirty. Venti leaves and then goes and writes poetry to a tree. Now let's talk about the Azhdaha fight. Azhdaha and Zhongli, they made a deal. If Azhdaha ever became a danger to the people, he would be sealed away again. The people, they started hammering at the ley lines. He proceeded to go crazy and become a threat to Liyue. Zhongli seals Azhdaha away. It is stated after the second time they fight, which is after Azhdaha tries to wrestle free of the seal. Zhongli states that it was difficult for him to seal Azhdaha away the first time because of how strong he was. Meaning full power Azhdaha scales to full power prime Zhongli. Full power prime Zhongli has authority over Geo and the Geonosis. As you remember, Zhongli got rid of the Gnosis, so he only has authority over Geo. He has not yet gotten rid of them. When Zhongli goes into the fight, he starts off with 2 people, and then someone else later joins in to fully get Azhdaha to surrender. Zhongli did not know who the 3rd person was. Zhongli felt like both him and the Traveler were enough to take down Azhdaha. After the fight, we learned that this extra person is a piece of Azhdaha, and it's the piece that has all of his memories. Zhongli talks to this fragment of Azhdaha as if he didn't go through this massive fight before, showing that he's not fatigued at all, and that resealing Azhdaha wasn't too much of a struggle. I want to make this very clear. The Azhdaha fight is not as strenuous as the Dvalin fight. Dvalin, even though he wasn't at full power, he still was close enough to Venti in terms of power to cause him to struggle. And there are some other factors that I never brought up when bringing up the Dvalin fight, which is why I wanted to go over it in this video. Venti did not want to hurt Dvalin. He was actively seeking to try and calm him down or even subdue him during the fight. While he was trying to subdue Dvalin to remove the zit, he had to protect Jean, the Traveler, and Diluc at the same time. That means he had to protect them and then protect himself while at the same time battling Dvalin while trying not to damage him too much. This is extremely strenuous, especially when you consider that Dvalin should at this point scale to Venti, because Venti has pretty much everything. He has authority of Animo, and he has his Gnosis, and he uses both these power-ups at the same time throughout the fight. And even then, after this fight, Venti passes out, and it's up to Dvalin to catch him, and he's like struggling to stay awake even after that. Versus Azhdaha, this is not even close to the case. Now, you could say that in that cutscene, he was able to sweep away the Traveler and Zhongli at the same time. So he did scale to current Zhongli in some way, shape, or form, but he was depowered. He was still technically sealed because only half of the seal was undone. So what we saw from him was the absolute bare minimum. And to prove this, it is later said that Azhdaha is capable of causing the earth to shake. The amount of energy that I calculated for Dvalin would be present during this fight because Azhdaha and Dvalin should scale to each other at their peaks. So if this was true, then what Azhdaha would have did was, instead of relying on this small kid, go out and gather people to help him and like indoctrinate or mind control miners in order to carve out the seal and attack the seal from the outside. He would have just smashed straight through the seal and then absolutely decimated Zhongli, because Zhongli does not in any way, shape, or form scale to what he once was, at least by his own words. And finally, Zhongli, he's not in any way, shape, or form fatigued. He is just casually talking with the fragment of Azhdaha, and they part ways like nothing ever happened. It was very casual. Now, I will say that Azhdaha was affected similarly to Dvalin, which is why I wanted to compare the two in one video. It's just that Dvalin, he could have been actually saved versus Azhdaha, he couldn't. He really couldn't, because he literally forgot everything. The friendships, he thought that Zhongli literally just left him there, and that was it. So he actually had to be sealed away. So Zhongli, he could actually like go all out against him. Versus Venti, he couldn't do that because he was just trying to save Dvalin. Azhdaha, there was no save. Now I want to go back to the Dvalin fight, because I have stated many times, even in my Diluc versus Tartag fight, everyone, there's a chance that they all outputted at least 1/4 of the amount of energy necessary to take him down or free him. Just because Venti contributed the most doesn't mean that other people there, they didn't contribute a lot either. Remember, a slightly stronger Traveler went on to defeat a Fatui Harbinger. People stated to rival Archons in terms of raw power, and then defeat in one shot something that an Archon sealed away a long time ago with the help of everyone else there. I'll bring this up again in my Osal video where I go over that fight. No, I will not. I've already gone over this in my Power of Characters in Genshin Impact video, and I'll not be making a dedicated video. But I'm just gonna say it here just to give the importance of this. Everyone else there, they didn't say anything, they didn't plan for anything, they just gathered around the Traveler and they just poured their energy into him, and he dropped the Jade Chamber. In fact, the Traveler even seemed to be surprised. Keep in mind, Ningguang, she just got done holding the turrets while they were firing, so she was outputting equal energy to them. So she was extremely powerful, and even she conceded that the Traveler was stronger than her. She was the second most powerful person there with this logic. Now, she could be extremely fatigued, and that could be the reason why she did it, but still, everyone else there, Sha was there, Gun Yu was there, and she's older than Kaching, more powerful than her because she's an Adaptus. One of those two could have dropped the Jade Chamber, Cloud Retainer. They could have dropped the Jade Chamber, but they all chose the Traveler. Everyone there decided to put their energy into the Traveler without even saying anything to each other, meaning everyone in their mind thinks that the Traveler is stronger than them. And again, the Traveler isn't that much stronger than what he was in Mondstadt. Alright guys, that's gonna do it. The main purpose of this video is to provide some context behind the fights, to give some better insight for power scaling reasons, and for curiosity if that's what you came here for. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe, and as always, have a wonderful day.